Okay guys, we are going to start with dividing and how to set up a division problem and work it. We went over the terms quickly in your vocab. We'll go over them and call them by their names while we're working with them. Please make sure you understand each step so that when we get to really doing large ones, you are raring to go. As I've said several times, if you don't know your facts, division's going to be as hard as multiplication. If you know your multiplication facts, that will help, because remember, division and multiplication are just inverse operations of each other. So let's get started. Please open your book to, or open yours to the very first page. Okay guys, here's your first division problem. Tiana has 8 purple daisies. In all, she counted 128 petals on her flowers. If each flower has the same number of petals, how many petals are on one flower? So we got to look for those keywords first. What am I trying? What do I want to know? What question? So let's underline that. If each flower has the same number of petals, how many petals are on one flower? Then circle the numbers we need. Well, we know we have 8 daisies, and we know we have 128 flowers or petals. We want to know if they're the same exact number. When we have same exact number and we're breaking them up into equal groups, we are dividing. So let's just look at this, and it says first of all we're going to estimate. So use an estimation to estimate the place of the first digit in the column. So if you are estimating, and we have 128 divided by 8, so is what they tell you to do is to look at this, look at those first 2 digits, just like I've been working with you, and say, well, what could I change if I'm going to estimate? What can I change these 2 digits to, the first 2 digits, to make it easily to divide by 8? Well, I know that 16 is easily divided by 8, so I'll just put a 0 in that one's place like I've done. This makes it very easy for me to divide, because I know 16 divided by 8 is 2, and then I just put my 0 at the end because I'm dividing by 10 too. So 160 divided by 8 equals 20. So my estimation is my answer, or my quotient, is going to be 20. Now it's going to be a little high because I rounded up, but I wanted to get an easy number to help me divide by. So this is why you need to know your division facts. So now we're back here, so I would do 160 divided by 8, and I got 20. So I think we will start in the tens place, because if we go, let's go to our very first answer and our first division, and if I set it up, so when we set up a division problem, we have the dividend and we put it inside the house. We put the divisor on the outside. I am going to look at this and I'm going to say to myself, first of all, can 8 be divided by 1? No, it can't. So I'm not going to put anything in the ones column. The ones column is going to sit empty. If it's easier, just like we've done before, as a reminder, you can put a 0 there just to hold the spot. Now I have to go to the next digit, and I look at the next digit and I say, oh, now I have the number 12, or 120. 8 divided by what, or 8 times what will get me to 12? Well, I can just start going by what I know. 8 times 1 is 8, and 8 times 2 is 16. 16 is too much. I don't have 16 there. I only have 12, so I'm going to do 8 times 1. So I'm dividing. I multiplied to figure out my answer. 8 times 1 equals 8. So I'm going to put that under the 12 because that's what I'm talking about. Your next step is to subtract. If I'm going to subtract, I go 8, 12, subtracted by 8, I have 4 left. So let's go back to our book, and it says here, I can do 1. So I would have 8 tens. So what did I put in my tens column? I put an 8 here. And what did I have left over? I had 4 left over. So now we're going to go to the second step. Mine looks exactly like theirs. So we divided, we multiplied, and we subtracted. Our next step is you bring your next number down on that line so that we come up with a new number. Now I have to look at this, and 8 divided by 48. So I'm thinking to myself, 8 times what equals 48? Well, that's my favorite fact. So 8 times 6. And what is 8 times 6? It's 48. So I divided 48 by 8. I did 8 times 6. I got 48. Now I'm subtracting. I know I am done now because do I have any other more digits here? No. So my answer is 16. That is very close to 20. I told you my estimation would be a little high because I rounded higher. Let's go back and let's look. So I had 48 in the ones, and I divided that. When I subtracted that off, I had none left. I had 20 as my quotient. Okay, let's do this again, and it doesn't matter how big our problem gets. It doesn't matter if we have ones, tens, hundreds. We can do this. So our new problem is going to be, please have a whiteboard out this time so that you can do it with me as I'm going through this. So I have 4,236 divided by 5. Alright, so let's go down here. So the first thing I need to do is estimate. I'm going to put zeros. I'm just going to look at those first 2 digits. Now what can I change 42 close to so that I can do 5 by it? Divide 5 by it. Well, I know I can change it to 40,000 because 42, 5 goes into 40. I can do 800. So that's my estimate. Now let's set it up. I'm going to put my divisor inside the house and my dividend on the outside. Okay, I'm going to look at the ones. Can I divide that? Can 5 go into 4? No. So I'm going to put a 0 there. Not everybody does, but I do to hold my spot. So 5 times 4. So if I put a 0 there, now I just move over. Now I have 5 times what goes into 42. So or if I'm dividing, I'm going to think the inverse. 5 times, I know it's 8. Now notice that goes right up above my 2 because I'm doing 42. Line up your numbers. So I multiplied. Now I'm going to subtract. 5 times 8 is 40. Subtract. I have 2 left over. I'm going to bring down the next digit so I have a new number. So I have to go again. 23 divided by 5, or 5 times what is 23 or less than? 5 times 4 equals 20. So I did 5 times 4 equals 20. And now I have to do that third step, subtract. After I've subtracted, I bring down my next number. I have a new digit to subtract or divide by. 36 divided by 5, or I like to think the inverse. 5 times what will get me close to 36? 5 times 7 is 35. Subtract. Now, do I have any more numbers to carry down? No, I don't. So that means this becomes a remainder. I have a remainder of 1. So my answer is, my quotient is 847 with a remainder of 1. Is that close to 800? Yes, it is. I did a very good estimate. So if you did this on the whiteboard with me, don't worry about filling in this page. It's been filled in here. Just know you got to divide, multiply, subtract, check. All right, let's move on. On this page today, I would like you to work with you and your partners, and I would like you to do 2, 3, 1 from this whole row, and 1 from these. Now, yes, the answers are right there, but on here, on your paper, somewhere on your paper, you have to show your work. So I need to see this whole process done somewhere on this paper or on another sheet of paper. Once you get that done and you understand what you're doing, if not, call me over and we'll do some more practice. I would like you to do your homework. Your homework pages are page 91. Do numbers 2, 4, 6, and 10. And remember, that whole process, I have to see all this work. Then on page 92, 1, 3, 4, and 5. If you get that all done and you have some math time left, or you would like to just work some more, this whole page is open for you to do. Yes, the answers are right there. The object is not to copy the answers. The object is to understand. Go to work.